robe shop smelled of fresh wool, polished oak, and faint traces of enchanted steam. Harry Potter stood quietly on the fitting platform, watching the magical measuring tape circle around him with cautious curiosity. Across the room another boy climbed onto the neighboring platform, his silver blonde hair perfectly neat and his black robes already tailored with remarkable precision. He looked confident, almost impossibly so, yet there was genuine curiosity in his pale grey eyes rather than arrogance. Their conversation began with simple questions about Hogwarts, Quidditch, and the unknown future waiting beyond platform 9 3/4. When Harry admitted that he knew almost nothing about the wizarding world, the other boy hesitated. Instead of mocking him, he offered to explain everything. That single decision quietly redirected 2 lives before either of them understood its importance. Several weeks later, the Scarlet Hogwarts Express thundered across the countryside while the 2 boys laughed inside the same compartment. Ron Weasley eventually joined them, followed shortly by Hermione Granger, and what should have become another story of division slowly transformed into an unlikely beginning built upon patience instead of prejudice. The sorting ceremony separated them physically but never emotionally. Harry entered Gryffindor while Draco proudly joined Slytherin. For a brief moment disappointment crossed both of their faces, yet a single smile across the Great Hall promised that friendship would not be decided by house colors. As autumn settled over Hogwarts, the corridors filled with whispered rumors, floating candles, and endless discoveries. In potions class, Draco quietly corrected Harry's stirring technique before the cauldron could explode. Harry answered with grateful laughter instead of wounded pride. Even Professor Snape noticed that something unusual had begun growing between the sons of 2 families who were never expected to stand together. Danger soon arrived inside the castle. A mountain troll wandered through the corridors, forcing Harry, Draco, Ron, and Hermione into a desperate struggle. Fear disappeared the instant they stood side by side. 4 young students who barely trusted one another fought as a single team, discovering that courage often grows faster than friendship itself. The years passed, bringing darker mysteries. They explored forgotten chambers beneath the castle, walked through forests where ancient creatures watched silently from the shadows, and stood before magical objects capable of revealing the deepest desires hidden inside every heart. With every challenge their loyalty became stronger, even while the wizarding world insisted they should become enemies. Outside Hogwarts, the darkness slowly returned. Families chose sides. Old hatred resurfaced. Draco found himself trapped between the expectations of his family and the person who had become his closest friend. Every difficult decision carried a heavier cost than the last, yet he never completely abandoned the path they had begun together inside a small robe shop years before. When war finally reached Hogwarts, the castle no longer represented 4 separate houses, but one final home worth protecting. Harry and Draco stood shoulder to shoulder beneath the shattered towers, raising their wands against the growing darkness. Around them spells illuminated the night while stone walls trembled beneath the weight of battle. In that unforgettable moment it no longer mattered where they had been sorted or what names they carried. What mattered was the choice they continued making every single day. A friendship born from kindness had rewritten an entire history. One conversation, one handshake, and one act of understanding proved powerful enough to challenge generations of fear. Long after the final battle ended, people remembered not only the heroes who defeated darkness, but also the 2 boys who proved that destiny is never written by blood alone. Sometimes the future changes because someone simply chooses friendship instead of hatred.